Michael's Story, Chapter 1, The Beginning. It was just an ordinary day. Michael left his apartment at 6 in the morning, as always. Headphones in his ears, hot coffee in a thermos, a mailbag on his shoulder. He was 24 years old, 6 feet tall, strong and fit. He used to run in the mornings just to stay in shape. He didn't know that this habit would save his life. Something went wrong in the city during the night. First, the internet went down. Then phone service disappeared. People began coming out into the streets, were confused, angry, afraid. Michael heard the first scream near the metro station. At first, he thought it was a robbery. Then he saw blood. Then he saw someone who was no longer human. Empty eyes, jerky movements, a jaw clenched too tight. Michael ran. He wasn't a hero. He just wanted to live. The crowd behind him grew like a wave. People fell. Someone screamed his name. He didn't look back. He jumped onto a parked van, then onto a trash container, then grabbed a fire escape and pulled himself up. That was the first time he reached a rooftop, and in that moment he understood one thing. Down there was death. Up here was a chance. From that day on, Michael never walked the streets again. He moved above them, across rooftops, fire ladders, ledges, and signs. That was how the runner was born. Michael's Story. Chapter 2. The First Route. 3 days had passed, 3 days that felt like 3 years. Michael sat on the roof of an old business center, his back pressed against a ventilation shaft. Below him lay a dead city. Abandoned cars stood frozen in place, doors left open, shop windows shattered. From time to time, figures wandered between them, slow, uneven, hungry. Zombies. He still wasn't used to that word. In his mind, they were still people. Food was running out. Water was almost gone. His phone had died the day before. Michael checked his backpack, a knife, a rope, a flashlight, 2 protein bars, and his old mailbag. He didn't know why he kept it, maybe because it reminded him of a normal life. Suddenly he heard a sound, quiet, metallic, a radio. A weak female voice came through the static. Someone was asking if anyone was there. Michael grabbed the walkie-talkie he had found in a security office and answered. The woman said she was trapped in a pharmacy on River Street with an injured man. Zombies were downstairs. River Street was 3 blocks away if you went across the rooftops. Michael looked down. The streets were full of them. He told her he would try to reach them. 15 minutes later, he was above the pharmacy. The display window was broken. The door was barricaded from the inside. On the roof, he found an old hatch and carefully opened it, dropping into the darkness below. Inside, the pharmacy smelled of medicine and fear. Behind the counter sat a young woman with a dirty face and red eyes. Next to her was a pale man with a bandaged leg. He wasn't bitten, just injured by broken glass. Michael shared his water and food. The woman introduced herself as Sarah. The man's name was Tom. They couldn't stay. The barricade wouldn't hold forever. Michael suggested an old TV tower, a tall building where they could fortify and survive. The only way there was over the rooftops. Sarah was afraid of heights, but fear was better than death. They climbed up as the zombies broke through the pharmacy door. Michael led them across rooftops, pulling Sarah forward, supporting Tom when his injured leg failed. At one point, Sarah froze before a gap, unable to jump, until Michael forced her to believe she could. They ran, across rooftops, across fear. They reached the TV tower and forced their way inside, blocking the entrance behind them. For the first time in days, there was silence. That night, they sat together near a small fire made from scraps of paper. Sarah told Michael he had saved them. Michael said he had only delivered a message, that they were still alive. He looked at his mailbag and realized something. He used to be a mailman. Now he delivered hope. Sarah called him a hero. Michael shook his head. He said he wasn't a hero. He just ran. Below them, the zombies howled. Michael knew what came next. He would keep running. He would find survivors. He would carry messages across the dead city and remind people that they were not alone. The city wasn't dead yet, and Michael was no longer just a survivor. He was its courier.